we'll get started. So the first thing I wanted to go through with you guys is the new addition to our AVM detail call. So we wanted to be able to have you show your users change in AVM data from month to month. So if you had a property and you wanted to show that a certain property or multiple properties in an area were increasing in value from month to month, or you wanted to show your users some sort of alert that AVM was changing, we wanted to give you the ability to do that. So where that exists is in our AVM detail call. You just, same AVM call that you've made before, and for those of you who aren't familiar, it just gives some of the basic details about the property, everything that you're used to in the property detail call. And then once you get to the AVM section, we'll still give you the high and the low value, as well as the mid-range for the AVM and the confidence score. But the new section, what we added in, is just a couple of points here for the AVM in the previous month, the amount the AVM changed, and then the percentage change. So really not anything overly complicated, just gives you some more options if you're trying to call out a change in value for your users. So I guess I'll just stop there. Any questions about the AVM detail call or any of the changes? Nope. All right. That one's pretty straightforward. The next change we're going to talk about is sales trends. So the sales trends is a little bigger magnitude change for us. We've added 3 different data points over a few different time spans and intervals. So sales trends includes the median sale price, the average sale price, and the amount of sales in a zip code over the course of 2 years, and you're allowed to filter by yearly intervals, quarterly intervals, or monthly intervals. So the example I've got pulled up, what you would do is enter your zip code, Geo ID, the interval you're looking for, and if you're in monthly or quarterly intervals, we'll ask you to input the start year, the end year, and the start month and the end month. If you're looking at the yearly interval, all you would have to do is enter the start year and the end year. What that's going to return is the sales information on a monthly basis. So you can see here, these sale trends, home sale count, average sale price, and median sale price are for January 2015. And you know you're looking at a monthly interval. Then we go to February, March, April, so on and so forth. So if any of you are familiar with our Nav2 product, if you were looking in the sale trends area, you'd see a graph that shows this information in a trend over 2 years. And that was really our goal here, was to be able to recreate something like that, where you could point different plots on a graph and show information about the sales trends over the past 2 years. Also a really good tool if you wanted to show this information on a map view. So if you were drawing, say, zip code boundaries with our boundary data, and then wanted to highlight the average sale price over a certain period of time to compare different zip codes, that can be a use case for this data as well. Any questions about how we've implemented that or what the response looks like? Nope. Okay, well that is an easy one then. Other than that, what I'll call out is just a few things coming up in the future. One thing that we just added today, but you all might not be too familiar with, is our Geo Id by Geo Id search. So this one didn't make it into the agenda originally because we just put it out today. But what this allows you to do is look up Geo IDs within a related Geo ID. So if you wanted to know, say, all of the zip codes within a certain state, you could type in the state ID as well as the geotype you're looking for. And you're going to get back all of the zip codes within that Geo ID, along with the size, square mileage, basically, the ID and the name. So that's really helpful if a lot of you who are using our maybe area hierarchy lookup call in the past, where you'd have to plug in a latitude and longitude to pull back different areas you are interested in. This would help you start at a higher level, say a county or a zip code, and then dive into things like school or district boundaries, residential subdivisions, things like that, to let you pull back that Geo ID to do searches on things like properties or points of interest, where in the past you would have had to know an address of a property or know a lat long to pull back any kind of Geo ID. So this should make it a little easier for you as you're implementing those top-down searches. In addition, if you were looking the opposite way and you wanted to know what zip code existed within a certain state, or going instead of top-down, bottom-up, this would also show related Geo IDs that way. So that is the bulk of the big changes. What we have coming up in the future is, if you take a look at our school data calls in the property API, some of you may have played around with our school snapshot call. And what that does is allow you to search school information by a latitude, longitude, and a radius. And what we're working on adding is a filter for the type of school. So the original intent of the call was to be able to pull back private schools, since they don't have boundary data to look at, hey, here's a property, and we want to know the public schools in the area. You couldn't pull back private schools since they don't have an attendance zone. So what we'll allow you to do is sort of supplement that call with the school snapshot call and be able to filter by those private schools. That should be coming up within the next week or two, so keep an eye out for that. We're always updating our release notes. So if you're ever curious about what's changing or what's coming up, the release notes would have all that information. And I